It's 8 p.m. And I don't know why I waited until 8 p.m. to make this video. But, whatever. Alright, day 31, I believe. Alright. So, Anthony, how's your day at school today? Could have been a little bit better. Again, I just feel like I get reminders in school every single day. I feel like every day I get a reminder. Yeah, I know it's hard. But Anthony, you getting reminders, is that a punishment? Or is it, do teachers give you reminders as a punishment? Or do they give you reminders to learn from your mistakes? Teachers give me reminders to learn from my mistakes. Yeah, so you getting reminders, a teacher giving you reminders, or a paraprofessional giving you reminders, that is not a punishment. You getting reminders from staff members is not a punishment. It's for you to learn from your mistakes. So it's not a bad thing to get reminders. I mean, I guess sometimes, but maybe not all the time. But yeah, a staff member giving you reminders is not a punishment. It's for you to learn from your mistakes. But maybe in March you'll get no reminders. All right. So how was your day at school today? Tell me all about your day at school. All right. So in science class, I needed 0 reminders. In science class, I needed 0 reminders. I did the right thing without an adult having to tell me in science class. Yeah, I didn't need any reminders in science class. I had a good day in science class. All right, now in math class, my day could have been a little bit better because I needed 3 reminders. My number 1 reminder, I believe it was for not being respectful, because I asked my paraprofessional, Miss Carey, could you check? Excuse me. Sorry. All right, I asked my paraprofessional, Miss Carey, if she could check my work, but I said, excuse me, can you please check my work, or are you busy? And then Miss Boswell said, what does it look like? And then I said, oh, you guys were having a conversation, and I disrupted it. And then Miss Boswell said, yeah. And then I said, oh, do I have to wait until you're finished talking, or can Miss Carey check my work? And then Miss Carey said, just give her 1 second. And then my paraprofessional, Miss Henry, said that would have been a reminder, because if it was time for me to have social hour, if it was my social hour, and if I was having a conversation, I probably wouldn't like it if somebody interrupted my conversation. I would probably want them to wait until I'm finished speaking with the person. But I probably wouldn't like it if I was having social hour, and if I was having a conversation, I probably wouldn't like it if somebody came and disrupted my conversation. I probably would want the person to wait until I'm finished speaking with the other person. So that would have been a tally mark, because sometimes it could be rude to disrupt someone from having a conversation. Yeah, sometimes it could be a little bit rude to disrupt somebody from having a conversation with another person. Yeah, it could be rude sometimes, so I got a reminder. And I needed another reminder for not having my point sheet out. And I needed my 3rd reminder for not starting my work when I was supposed to. Well, yeah, I needed 3 reminders. All right, now I need to tell you guys something. So when I was in math class, I told my teacher, Miss Bosser, that I couldn't find my paper. And I said I was sure. But then my teacher, Miss Bosser, played some music on the smartboard. And then Miss Bosser and Miss Henry started singing. And then I said, Miss Carey, what's going on? And then my paraprofessional, Miss Carey, said that Miss Henry and Miss Bosser are singing to me. And I said, oh, I don't understand about this. And then I was about to, and I think I was about to either get my math bins or something. Actually, we didn't do math bins today. I think I was gonna go get something from my desk or something, or from the shelf. And then okay, so I was going to the shelf, and then Miss Henry started dancing at me, and then she grabbed my hand, and then she started dancing, making me dance, I guess. And I guess she was saying, "Anthony, dance," and I said, "I don't really feel like it. I didn't really feel like dancing. I wasn't really in a mood for dancing. I didn't really feel like it because I was on 1%. My body was on 1%. So actually, no, maybe 20%, but it wasn't on 100 though. Yeah, yeah. Sorry that I keep on stop talking, but let me think. So let me think for a little bit more about what happened. Okay. So okay. Um so I was gonna go get something to work with, like a calculator or something, or a worksheet. And then Miss Henry stopped me, and then she started singing to me, and then she grabbed my arm, and then she started dancing with me, I guess, making me dance, I guess. I guess the salsa dance or something. And uh I kind of felt a little bit uncomfortable, but I tried acting like I was okay with it. And then Miss Henry said, "This is the old." I guess she was doing a dance, and then she said, "This is how old mans dance," I guess. And then I said, "Oh well, I'm not an old man. I'm a teenager." And then Miss Bow said, "Well, you need to act like one, I guess." Yeah. Sorry, guys. It was just really hard to think about what happened in math class. Well, I even said that I wish my friend Joshua was there, but he wasn't there because he needed to go to occupational therapy. So, unfortunately, I was the only student in the classroom because my friend Joshua needed to go to occupational therapy. So, I was the only student in the classroom. And then I said, "Man, I really wish that Joshua was here." And then Miss Carey said, "Well, Joshua would have liked it. He probably would have liked dancing with Miss Henry, but I don't think I did though. But maybe. I not 100%, but yeah. Anyways, I needed three reminders. Three reminders for one for disrupting, one from disrupting a conversation, another one for not having my point sheet out, and another one for not starting my work when I was supposed to. So I was at three reminders. So I decided to be careful because I was on the edge of earning an X instead of a check mark. But soon, instead of my point sheet being check marks and X marks, it's going to be smileys and frownies. Yeah, I asked my teacher, my autism, my my ACT, that stands for autism support teacher, if we could change my point sheet to smileys and frowny faces. And She said we could do that. So soon, instead of checks and X's, mine's just gonna be smileys and frownies. All right. My day could have been a little bit better because I was at 3 reminders. So I decided to be careful because I was on the edge of getting an X on my point sheet. I was right on the edge of earning an X instead of a check mark. So good thing I decided to be careful because I was at 3 reminders and I was close to earning an X instead of a check, but good thing I didn't. All right, so yeah, I had a good day in math, but it just could have been a little bit better because I almost was earning an X, but good thing I decided to be careful. All right, now in music class, music class. I had music class today. Well, I mean, I've been talking about getting switched to JDG instead of having music class for this marking period, but I think I'm changing my mind now because, to be honest, at first, I didn't want to have music class anymore, and I wanted to get switched to JDG. But now I'm starting to like music class, so now I think I want to stay in music class. Yeah, I really wanted to have JDG. 7th and 8th graders get to have JDG, but JDG doesn't teach 6th grade, though. The JDG teacher only teaches 7th and 8th grade, not 6th grade. But good thing I'm in 7th grade, but I could have had JDG, but my classrooms were gym and music for this marking period. But if I don't like my new exploratories, then I could always talk to my counselors about it. And I think it was my counselors that made me go to gym and music. But if I don't like being in those classrooms, then I could talk to my counselors about it and they could switch me to a different exploratory. All right, so I went to music for the first half, but then the second half I had to go to speech. I mean, I kind of missed the day where I didn't have to go to speech, but today I had to go. To be honest, I don't like going to speech because I just have to go during my exploratory. That's why I don't like going to speech, but I gotta get over it. I gotta get used to it. I mean, I just don't like going to speech because I have to go during my exploratory. But I gotta get used to it. I have to get used to it because my speech linguist pathologist can't get me during science. She can't get me during my science class period. She can't get me during my social studies class period. She can't get me during math class period, and she can't get me during my English class period because those are all 4 of my important classes. Plus, I think that my speech linguist pathologist works at different schools. So that's probably why she's only able to get me during my second half of exploratory. Yeah, I know I don't like going to speech during my exploratory, but I'm going to have to get used to it because she can't get me during my other 4 classes because those are all 4 of my important classes. And right now, she's only able to get me during my exploratory class, so I'm going to have to get used to it. But going to speech is actually really cool. But while I was in music class, I don't think I needed any reminders. But when I was in speech, I needed 2 reminders. 1, for not being a serious student. Even though we don't talk about serious student anymore. So recently, my paraprofessional Mr. F said that we're not going to say I was a serious student or not. But yeah, I think we can still say that. But I needed a tally mark for not being responsible and for not being a serious student. I was just playing. I was lollygagging. So that was a tally mark. And then I needed another tally mark for not paying attention. So that was 2 reminders I needed in speech class. But my day was good in speech class. But then I tried to go back to music class, but music class was over. It was going to be over in 1 minute. So my music teacher made me go back to class. Actually, no. My paraprofessional, Mr. F, said that music class is all done. So he told me I could go back to class. So I went to English class. And I did something fun during English. It was way funner than doing English work. You want to know what I did during English class? Me and my classmates were building a birdhouse. Some visitors came to Skyline from Delaware, something so I can't remember. Delaware Society or something. Some visitors from that place. I believe it was in Hockessin or something. Some visitors came to Skyline and they taught us how to build a birdhouse. I believe it's Animal Society. Yeah, that's what I believe it's called. But we were building a birdhouse. And I don't think I needed any reminders in English class. Yeah, I don't think that any staff members had to give me any reminders to do the right thing. Yeah, I don't think any staff members had to give me any reminders to do the right thing. So, I mean, I didn't earn a check or an X mark on my point sheet for English because I don't think we had time. Now, during MTSS class, I mean, we would have had Fun Friday, but I think we had to help out Miss Henry with something, so we were doing something else instead of Fun Friday. We were folding up t-shirts and we were doing something else. And to be honest, I didn't like it. I thought it was super boring. And I said, man, this is more like Boring Friday instead of Fun Friday. I don't even care if I have to help teachers out. I don't even care. I don't like helping teachers out. But that probably wouldn't be respectful. And if I would have said that out loud, then a teacher would probably give me an X or a tally mark on my point sheet. I was like, in my head, I made sure I didn't do any self-talking about this, because if I did, then I probably would have gotten a tally mark for not being respectful. In my head, I said, man, this is more like Boring Friday instead of Fun Friday, because this is not fun. I don't care for helping out Miss Henry. I don't even care. I still don't think this is fun. This is boring. I hate this. I hate helping out my teachers. But that's not nice, because my paraprofessionals want me to be successful. And I'm not going to be successful if I don't do what I need to do and what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to be successful. And my paraprofessionals and teachers want me to be successful. So I'm going to try to do what I'm supposed to do instead of doing what I want to do. That way I'll be very successful. All right, so my day in school just could have been a little bit better. Yeah, Cesar, my day at school could have been just a little bit better. A little bit better. Yeah, I hope you have a better day in March. Me too. All right, guys. Thank you, Cesar, for wishing I had a better day in March. You're very welcome. All right, guys, this was day 31 of me being interviewed by Cesar. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys. See you in the next video. Sorry about that. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. All right. Goodbye.